Welcome
Self-made
back.
man, Frank Bryant.
Welcome back, friends, MMA fans, to yet another episode of The Fight Plug. Before we get started, I want to remind you that if you're listening right now, please hit like, subscribe, leave comments if you are so inclined to do, and ring the bell so that you won't miss any of our content or any of our uploads in the future. As always, I'm joined by my good friend Brandon Anaya. Say hello to the people, Brandon.
Hello, people.
Fucking delay. All right. Thanks for being here again with us. We're here to cover UFC 279. Well, I should say we're here to react to UFC 279. It was an interesting card. We saw veterans lock horns at the top of the card. We saw a guy who is very clearly destined to be a champion in this sport. Whatever weight class that has to be at is still probably a little up in the air. And we saw some dogs, some guys outside of the top 10, outside of probably the top 15, who were really getting out there, who were quietly grinding, trying to make a statement, aren't necessarily headline grabbers, but they went to a split decision. And we'll start with that fight. We'll work our way up. We'll go chronologically. We'll start with Daniel Rodriguez and Li Jingliang, who locked horns for 3 rounds. I've since rewatched the fight, so don't give me too much.
And notice that you're fucking intensely wrong about what you...
Pretty wrong. It was still a close...
Clean your glasses, dude.
It was still a relatively close fight. No, I was very distracted for that fight. And I was kind of like, I have one eye on my phone and one eye on the fight. And by the end of it, you had asked me,
and
like,
you're listening to that voicemail you were playing before. You're like trying to translate.
And you had asked me who I thought won, and I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I feel like that was a fight that was definitely more watching through the highlights between rounds. And it looked to me like Daniel Rodriguez. It looked like both guys were doing work, but Daniel Rodriguez being the bigger fighter. Having seen a little bit more of his knockouts, I felt like he was winning the fight. I was supremely wrong. I saw everybody verdict. Anywhere that you looked, it looked like Li Jingliang got robbed. I gotta ask, like, how much of that do you feel might have been because for some of the same reasons that I thought? Like, did you watch this fight, and while you were watching it, do you feel like that extra 10 pounds played any kind of a factor or anything like that for Daniel Rodriguez?
I think. No, I mean, I just couldn't see. Like, I remember talking to you about it, and I was just like, this is insane. Like, how? And I thought the other way around, that the fact that Jing Liang was the smaller fighter, not like kind of smaller, like 10 pounds is a lot of weight, and then it looked like a lot of weight, and so.
Daniel Rodriguez must have put on a lot of pounds, but between weigh-in and fight night, because he looked thick, even for
he looked like, man, he looked like we've seen that guy waiting to cash his check at the gas station quite a few times. I've seen guys like him, and they all look big, and they have that like Danny Trejo body,
the prison swole.
Like, he looked like the prime Danny Trejo. You're just like, dang, he looked like magic from fucking Blood In, Blood Out, dude.
Yeah.
And you're just like, dang, dude, this, like, he's fucking, that's a lot of asada right there.
A Mexican,
dude,
yeah.
Yeah. And, Jing Liang was just jacked. He's fucking ripped. But he just looked like a tinier human being. But he everything he's hit, everything he landed was, like, so fucking hard. If he would have hit Tony Ferguson with any of those like that one that looped around and hit D-Rod in the ear, like, or behind the ear, Ferguson goes down big time.
Oh yeah,
for sure. He was throwing some looping ass shit, and he was fucking kicking to the body. It was a good fucking fight. It was like, I had an insane. And then listen to this fight, because everyone calls me xenophobic. With my hate for it's the Communist Chinese Party, not the people,
not the fighters.
Okay, let's just make that clear right now.
But I'm surprised I forgot to hit my usual beat too and be like, calm down, Brandon. I know this is a Chinese fighter fighting, but
I'm gonna, and and it sucks that his family was bound and tied down and had to lose. No, but in all seriousness, on a serious note, though, like,
Yeah.
one of the most, and we talked about this previous when we talked about, like, we've talked about him a few different times where he, like, everything you can do right after losing to Hamza Chimaev, he did everything right. He just was he was funny, self-effacing, just he took it in stride, came out and did really cool. Then came out and fucking beat Muslim Salikov, who, like, we were ball washing Muslim Salikov before that fight. And it was just amazing how he's grown from being so humbled and then played so, and then just is such a good guy. If he spoke English, dude, he would be just in, and which he shouldn't have to. Because he's not an American or North American, or European, but he's just so cool. And then like in the countdowns, it's always good content whenever he's on there.
Yeah.
He's fucking funny. And so that's not even, so, like, let's put that aside. Like, just affinity, like, in my heart, this guy is gonna carry on for a long time, as far as, like, someone who, like, Fight Plug friend of the show.
Oh yeah,
Li Xingliang, you're welcome on here anytime, sir. I will pull the full John Cena and learn Mandarin Chinese and speak to you if you promise you'll come on. I'll shave my head like Chairman Mao. I'll do whatever I have to do for this guy.
Yeah, promotion wise,
awesome.
he's coming into his own. We see him, like, sporting the flashy suits and stuff like that. He wants to be engaging. He's not just content to just be another guy on the roster and speaking through a translator.
And he does
trying.
it in a wholesome way. It's like wholesome as hell. It's like we saw some not so wholesome shit on this card.
Yeah.
Like shit leading up to this card.
Yeah.
And he fought a not so, I mean, D-Rod is a cool ass guy. Like, he's just don't judge your book by its cover. Guy's just a cool ass fucking guy. Good fighter. Won the fight. Hey, great, man. No losers. Both guys, shout out to them, because either one of them, if they had their druthers, wouldn't have taken this fight, but they needed to get paid.
These guys drew the short straw, or the short, because and like you were giving kind of props to them, like, and we really should give props to. I mean, there's a very clear villain on this card, but all of these guys kind of got fucked over a little bit. I mean, some ended up with easier matchups, obviously, and we'll get into that. But no matter what, switching opponents on 24 hours notice is a fucking tall order. It's a lot to ask of any professional fighter who's going through, like, a 2-3 month fight camp to get ready for one guy, and to be told on short notice, like, no, throw all that shit away, just hope that you came ready and physically prepared, because you're fighting a completely different person tomorrow. And it's fucked up.
And to throw another because it's kind of like when you've got a group project for class and it's about some shit that you just know a fucking ton about, and they're like, you got 2 weeks, and you know a ton of shit about it. So that's kind of like fighting your Li Jingliang and you're fighting Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
So it's just like, all right, like, all right, I'll see what I could do. I'll train.
Yeah.
And so, but no, he fucking did. He fucking, like, he came out professional as fuck. He looked fucking good. And goddamn well he was ready to do it. He trained for prime Tony Ferguson, not the Tony Ferguson we fucking saw, and you could tell. And if that 10-pound weight difference was just so out of this world, like, it showed, because he was throwing everything he threw was just with straight power, and he landed some really heavy punches, some really heavy kicks. He was doing great, and I can't for the life of me just don't know how it went. It was unanimous too, right?
Split.
Was it unanimous?
Split decision.
Oh, split. Okay, well, that's the only good. I'm sorry, I forgot that. I guess I was looking at the meme you sent, but follow us on Twitter, by the way. But which that I'll share with you off mic, but that meme did some numbers on Twitter, but it just it just blew my mind.
We don't have to. It doesn't have to be on mic. Are you talking about the one where I replaced the third blind person with me?
It's like you, Stevie Wonder, and fucking
Ray Charles, Ray Charles. Oh my god!
Yeah, and then your
who's Dr. stealing memes now, dude?
Yeah. Oh, for real? Little tone deaf there, huh? The same day we're. Hey, come on. What's good for the goose, huh?
Hey, but we're still under triple digit followers, so
Yeah, come on.
you should be expecting
Let's
us to
pump those
steal
numbers
memes.
up, boys. But yeah, it. I mean, he basically threw what, a jab. Rodriguez threw a jab all night long.
Seemed a
and
little
he won.
stiff. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure what two of the three judges saw. Well, they probably weren't. They probably that's what it comes down to, is that, you know, you can almost kind of understand, especially when you get situations, because it's obviously not the first time I've kind of half watched a fight and thought, oh, that guy kind of looks like he won, and then I was very clearly wrong. And now there's not so many instances where I go back and rewatch those fights when I realize I was wrong. I just kind of like stick to my guns, but that's because I was not always on a show or, you know, producing a podcast to where I want to have my facts straight, you know. So in this instance, I went back and rewatched it, and, you know, it makes you realize, like, it probably doesn't take much. It probably just takes one of these fucking judges having their phone out, banging out a few text messages and stuff like that, and that's enough. That's enough to miss some key. And like I mentioned too, I still think, even upon rewatching it, because like I said, I watched a lot of like the slow mo replays between rounds. That's a lot of the stuff that I caught. A lot of that shit can sway you to the wrong way, because whoever was picking those clips,
there's no takedowns, no grappling.
Yeah. Whoever was picking those clips, I think, was kind of favoring Daniel Rodriguez's highlights a little bit. And they show that shit in the arena on replay. So if you're one of the judges and you're like me, like fucking texting somebody, you're not really fully paying attention, and then you look up and think that you're kind of getting the gist off of these replays, then then you fuck a guy out of half of his paycheck. Is Li Jingliang the biggest loser of this card? Did he come up the most short? Like, absolutely, in terms of like, dude, like you were on deck for a high profile opponent, which should have been a fairly easy fight. You know, we were talking about like some casual fans' perspectives of certain fighters and stuff like that, and I think Tony Ferguson's a guy who probably still gets a lot of that. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, I think again, like, from the casual perspective, but I think you don't so much earn money from Dana White, where it'd be nice if you just earn money, but how you earn in this promotion is doing the shit he did. You're fucking out. You're professional. You're fucking you put out content for Countdown, for the interviews, for definitely in a market that they want to crack. They made that known that, you know, they want to invade that ONE FC territory and get some of the get that Asian dollar, you know, in the pockets of these greedy oligarchs that run the UFC. And and then you take a short notice fight where you're at a weight disadvantage.
You save the card, basically,
and you save a card.
Yeah,
fuck, dude, that's worth its weight in. I'm not going to say gold, because gold is worth currency, but if whatever currency they trade in the UFC, he fucking maxed out that card.
He did,
and he's not going to get, which means he's going to get favorable matchups. You would think he like, hey, we're going to groove you one, because they do that for their guys. Like, they do that for their guys. At least now, anyway, maybe. At least I've seen. And, you know, because, like, look at Nate Diaz is the opposite of that. You talk your shit, you do it, and then you get.
They will try and bury you.
That's what you want to do.
Put you
they
under
will
the
fucking try and murder you.
Yeah.
Tony Ferguson wants to goes out of character and just starts talking shit about Dana on mic. Okay, well, hey, we got this Chinese kid. Fucking, he's gonna knock you the fuck out. Check this out.
You're on a 3-fight losing streak. Let's have you fight Michael Chandler. That'll be a good even fight.
What's Chandler doing? Yeah, it's wild. They'll do that shit to you quick. So he did the exact opposite of what you would normally do, and I guarantee you that's going to. It may not be money and it translate to like straight cash right off the top, but it'll keep them relevant in the eyes of the matchmakers for sure. Like Hunter Campbell, Sean Shelby, Dana White, they see that as like, you're going to get 2 or 3 extra fights where you can get a little bit more cash than we normally would have gave you in the past. I guarantee.
That's a good point. I was concerned about Li Jingliang maybe losing face in the eyes of the fans, but definitely, at the end of the day, they're fickle anyways. But yeah, in the eyes of
the
Dana
Chinese
White
fans,
and
he
the
did
UFC.
it. The people, like, there's billions of people that. I mean, we're thinking about it from like our stupid asses. There's literally billions of people that like live and breathe with there, because there's like a handful of Chinese fighters, and there's some good ones, and he's one of those like top 3 out of that portion of the world. So like he's not hurting, dude.
Yeah, he's probably due for a good opportunity now. Hopefully, they go in that direction. Ultimately, it's just when you see a fight like this that's more on the robbery side. We've talked about it before. Like, not every close fight is a robbery. That's a talking point that goes around a lot, and it's true. But in instances where you could really make a case that it's a robbery, it really sucks for both guys, because it's like then everybody's looking at Dan. I mean, people were audibly booing Daniel Rodriguez, and he doesn't necessarily deserve that. He's not the one who judged.
The fight, that wasn't his fault. Yeah.
So he gets the boos. He gets the like, oh no, the narrative is gonna continue that Daniel Rodriguez didn't deserve to win that fight, and then Li Jingliang ends up with an L, and. So it sucks for both guys, but they're not going anywhere anytime soon. I think they both definitely showed that they belong, around that top 15 range of their division, and they got to get back to their division. Hopefully, these guys don't belong at middleweight. Daniel Rodriguez could probably do some work at middleweight, but I think he's a welterweight through and through. Like, he looks much better at welterweight. Right. He looks like a brick house at middleweight, and I mean, who knows? I mean, welterweight's a tough division
too.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have the thickest legs. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really thick. I wasn't like thick boy. Like he kind of had that, like, which is kind of like unfortunate when you see that, because it's like, man, he was a little top heavy. You know what I mean? If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's crazy how much that extra 10 pounds, like, what that looks like on somebody, or in the case of. Like on like Tony Ferguson, not to jump the gun and start talking about Tony, but like I was kind of surprised at how different his welterweight body looks versus and I mean, that's 15 pounds.
Man. I didn't really even think about that. Yeah.
And I mean, that's 15 pounds, but we're both bigger guys too. So like, to us, 10 pounds, 15 pounds doesn't seem so significant. I'll fucking lose.
That's a day at Golden Corral.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I'll drop 15 pounds in a couple of weeks. So when I'm trying to like get my ass fucking in shape, and it doesn't, you don't see the difference whatsoever. But with these guys, it was tangible for sure. Speaking of dudes who definitely earned themselves opportunities and probably earned themselves some favor with Dana White, at least, let's move on to the next fight. Khamzat Chimaev, Kevin Holland, who's another guy who pretty much saved this card, and who I hope Nate Diaz kind of really like fucking invited to the after party and took care of, because
a basket or something.
He took a fucking ass beating for Nate Diaz, and it was a merciful ass beating, because I don't believe Khamzat Chimaev threw any punches. It should be noted, this is
I don't think either one of them did, right?
No, yeah, this is the and I should mention it was Khamzat Chimaev defeats Kevin Holland by Darce choke submission at 2 minutes and 13 seconds of round number 1. So Kevin Holland doesn't even get to see a round 2. It was a short fight. It was a quick fight. Khamzat Chimaev went straight to work. This is the 4th fight of his UFC tenure where he hasn't absorbed a single strike, which
that is the wildest fucking thing. And he's gone up against like some striking ass motherfuckers too. Yeah.
3 of those guys are Li Jingliang, and now Kevin Holland, and fucking I'm blanking out on his name, which I shouldn't be. Gerald Meerschaert. So, and when guys like that, to have a stat like that is that'll never happen again. Like, I don't think that'll ever happen again. That's just insane. The dude is a monster.
Shout out to the boy Gilbert Dorino Burns.
Yeah.
Wow.
The only guy who's made him look human. And I think that had a lot to do with the fact that he just was like, no, I'm not going to engage with you on the ground. I'm going to just fucking struggle through this fight on the feet.
Yeah.
So there is a path to victory for people facing Khamzat Chimaev, but you need to be a guy who has a phenom level like ground game, like Gilbert Burns. Otherwise, he does not give a fuck. He is just going to come in and do the same thing he always does, and be dirty and not avoid and avoid the glove touch and shoot under your glove touch. And I'm just kidding. I'm not going to start that narrative.
No, I think you should, man, because I mean,
I don't really think it was dirty. But Hamzat Shemaev is the new fucking villain. He is the new evil bad guy.
He though?
He has no. I mean, he's playing the heel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I mean, you heard those boos. Like that means something.
And that's the thing.
That guy that you were talking about.
Like,
that was talking about like this Swedish guy or whatever, like the next person that he's talking to about, he's gonna be like, this motherfucker eats kids and he's from fucking like Chechnya land or something. Like, what that narrative is gonna turn into. Like,
and then the thing for me is that this is the wildest thing to me about just culture in general now, right? Is where, so you and I are talking about, we know damn well what he's trying to do or like what it is. He's trying to play this like bad guy persona, and then whatever happened, that the fucking fight or scuffle or whatever came out, that wasn't a fucking fight. That wasn't a 100% fucking brawl. Get the fuck out of here.
There's still some people who are insisting that he front kicked Kevin Holland in the chest, but there's no proof or any like. So
so let's break it down though. This is the thing for me is Leon Edwards is on camera accosting Jorge Masvidal, and nothing happened. Like,
other way around.
I mean, really, like, no, I get no, but I mean, they were on camera, like doing some. There was like way more to that than there was anything that we saw from this weekend as far as that brawl that happened.
Yeah,
we've seen like fucking Conor McGregor yacked out of his mind, throwing fucking dollies through windows, fucking busting up Michael Chiesa's face, right? I've seen crazier, I mean, fucking Khabib Nurmagomedov jumping out of a cage to kick fucking Dylan Dennis.
Guys who weren't even sanctioned to fight that night. Just
Correct.
Straight up.
Correct. Yeah. So now let's kind of like, okay, the guy missed weight. Supposedly they're saying it's because of he was having medical issues, like real medical issues. Okay, so then
which I'm calling BS on, but sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, exactly, but that's what we're given though. So let's talk about the missing weight thing. Khabib Nurmagomedov, you ever done that? Did he ever do that?
Did Charles he ever officially miss weight, or did he come close? I know he struggled with some weight cuts, but I don't remember if he.
And
then
they're like, "Oh, he was eating at a restaurant the night before." Wasn't Khabib Nurmagomedov eating tiramisu the week of the fucking Tony Ferguson fight? What the fuck are we talking about? Charles Oliveira, my hero and yours, the man's missed weight multiple times, and I'm not counting the last one because he didn't miss weight last time. I'm talking about like the other like 12 times he did. Yeah. Let's not lose the forest for the trees on what we're talking about, a villain here. Okay? I think he's stupid. I just don't think he's very smart. You know what I mean? And you don't have to be smart. But and then I'm not talking about you, because you had some choice words for like what happened, and I know some of it was said in jest, so it wasn't like okay, like I took it your words. I have other people whose opinions I respect. I don't like him. But then like I'm hearing things like, you see things like on Twitter, YouTube, ESPN, villain, terrible person. Look at how okay, and then those same people will go and watch an X-Men movie, or they'll go watch a fucking, you know what I mean, Bryan Singer, or they're like. Oh yeah, well, just because Bill Clinton wrote on a plane that they called the Lolita Express to an island where the little kids they found, it doesn't mean anything. It's just like, whoa, like people lose the forest for the trees, like what we're calling the villain and like what you support, and then now all of a sudden like I'm not going to support this cage fighter because he missed weight and got in a fight in the background. It's just like, calm down, but like let's just. But I think like our culture is just so geared toward right and left, egalitarian dialectic, like you have to be one way or the other. Yeah. And it's like, no. What I saw a guy who's like a pit bull, like just trained to fight. He's going to do some wild shit that you're going to go like, whoa, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like I'm a John Jones fan. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
you are.
Like, well, you know, so so like, what the fuck am I gonna say that,
Mhm.
you
Right.
know? I just wanted to kind of dispel that right now, because it's like he's trying to play the villain, I think, because
Absolutely.
he wants to play both sides, and it's smart, and I would not put it past, because like, what, because then what did he really do though? I Outside of Rodriguez and Liang, which, okay, that sucked, and they were the legit people who really felt it
Mhm.
in the pocket and everything else.
They're
Or I mean,
definitely
who
the most
knows?
most impacted by him missing weight. Yeah.
Right, right, and then got but what if Li Jingliang just gets fucking railed in the face and just smacked around because he's just so much bigger, and then breaks his orbital or something crazy, because he shouldn't have been fighting a guy that big?
Hmm.
That, that kind of just, that didn't happen.
Hmm.
It's
I mean, and
um
at the end of the day, too, it's like these guys are entering into a cage fight, just because the matchmaking got flipped around. You can't
yeah,
hold Hamzat Chimaev responsible for everything that happens to Li Jingliang in
yeah,
that
and
cage. At the end of the
everybody
day, it's
does,
like,
and that's why I hate our culture right now, dude. The 24-hour news cycle, the cable news cycle, it's just like, this guy's terrible, terrible person. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to see him. And then they fucking turn on Michael Jackson and fucking go by fucking, you know what I mean? Put fucking Michael Jackson on their Apple iPhone, and they're just like, I just couldn't. Above reproach, just the best people in the world. The guy fucking missed weight.
I'm gonna find a Michael Jackson Muzak, like royalty free, like version of a song. To
Yeah,
do the intro for this.
yeah.
No, I definitely I get what
You see what
you're
I'm getting
laying
at though?
down.
Like, I'm a little bit, yeah.
I
It's
think
just, I hate this.
I think
This like,
Hamza is like,
yeah,
I mean, it's real easy for these narratives to get started, and I think we've seen Hamza try to be the good guy also. You know what I mean?
right.
We've seen the UFC and the embeddeds and stuff like that try and cover, and I was talking about this the last time he fought against Gilbert Burns, about like how he's fighting, he doesn't give a shit about anything really. All he cares about is just earning money for his mom and his family and stuff like that. So I think
Yeah,
they've tried to get that kind of good guy. Just, I'm fucking hungry. I'm from a fucking, and then, I'm from a place where you don't get I have a lot of opportunities and stuff, and that narrative didn't go anywhere for him. And I think, in truth, it's just that narrative just doesn't work with a lot of guys who have his accent. As far as like getting over on American crowds, it's a lot easier to paint that kind of a guy as a heel, as a villain. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And we see how quickly and how easily, he just has to press the right people's buttons. He has to get into a little altercation with a fan favorite in Paulo Costa right now, who everyone loves, is the Giga Chad meme lord of MMA right now. So boom, there's one strike against you, and I mean, I say against you, but really like success in moving towards that villain role. You miss weight by a lot, you give up, you decide you're not going to make weight anymore. And to touch on that too, like the excuse about the doctors stopping him, telling him he can't miss weight. There's been instances where doctors have told fighters like, no, you're already far too dehydrated. Whatever's up with your body, you can't make this weight. They don't let them go and make an attempt. Like, if he already is told by the doctor or the commission that you're stuck, you can't cut any more weight, he doesn't go out and step on that scale for those weigh-ins. They'll weigh him right then and there and be like, oh, this is your weight, this is what you're fighting at. We'll let the other fighters know. We'll let the promotion know. But anyways, yeah. So you blow weight, and then also you're fighting against a guy named Nate Diaz, who people are ravenous for, who they want to root for, who they want to believe in, who, the casual, like, the example you gave earlier off air about like people who would just have this delusional belief in a guy like Nate Diaz because they like his fucking his NorCal style or whatever it is, so I think it's ultimately good for him. I'm more interested in like who can stop this guy though, because he's a fucking monster. Like, he's so good,
know, dude.
he's
Don't know.
he's so good that I could almost feel like I'm going to get bored of him, because right now I'm not excited about any match. I guess I just have a bad taste in my mouth for what they tried to do with him on this card, because
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, why waste this guy on a Nate Diaz? Like, let's throw some shit at this guy. I want to see who can test
That's how
him.
much they hate Nate Diaz, dude. That's
Exactly.
how much they hate Nate Diaz. Let's say that again. The gentleman that fought, the Swedish gentleman that came out and fought, is like, they're there is I really don't see anyone in the UFC that I mean,
He's a Terminator.
it's gonna be wild once uh the fucking Attila the Hun, our boy, fucking when him and I cannot, I will never forgive myself that I'm not getting this guy's name isn't coming to me.
Shavkat.
Shavkat Rachmanov.
That's
That's the only other gentleman who I can see, and that guy's still a minute away from being close.
I don't think I want to see Shavkat Rachmanov fight him. That was a dream fight for me for a while, and obviously we've known about Khamzat's potential for a while now too. But looking at what he did, I mean, it's Kevin Holland. We knew he was going to get out wrestled. We knew it was just, but his willingness to just be like, no, I'm not going to play with you. I'm just going to cut through you in the most efficient, most punishing way possible. Like, I don't know if I want to see Shavkat fight him till early 2024, because I want that fight. I want them to really be the best that they can be for both guys.
That they can be, yeah. And that's the thing too, is like very smart from very, very smart, because no, he took no damage. So if you're really thinking about it, that's the best thing that could happen to Kevin Holland, because there's no athletic commission that's going to say like, no, you can't fight again. Kevin Holland can probably fight in a week and he would get cleared, because some of these guys, they go through these fights and they're just not able to fight anymore. Or not anymore, but like for at least a good 3 to 4 weeks, you know, that's like minimum. Some of them it's 3 to 4 months where they just can't fight. They've taken so much damage. So both of those guys in a loss, Kevin Holland got the bag right there.
Yeah.
And then he'll probably be able to headline a fight night or a UFC Vegas or UFC Milwaukee or whatever the fuck pretty quick whenever he wants. And they'll give him a good and it's not like, and everyone is like so quick to cancel Khamzat right here that they're not even really giving Kevin Holland a loss. So it's just like, it is what it is. You know, that's not, he lost that one fight to Khamzat, which is just going to get swept under the rug anyway. Is that really a loss? You get fucking a pay-per-view bag. You get the opportunity that you didn't get your face bashed in. You're going to be able to fight in the next 3 to 4 weeks. You know, Kevin Holland's down to do it.
Yeah,
he's active as fuck anyway.
And so, like we were talking about,
really lost
earning favor with Dana White and the UFC. Like there's not a man on this earth who wants to fight Khamzat Chimaev on 24 hours notice.
Dude.
Kevin Ferguson answered the call, so he's going to be rewarded handsomely for it, whether we know about it or not.
Yeah.
I gotta say right now,
break it down though, like Khamzat Chimaev though, like that isn't. I love to see that kind of like just put it on mute. I wish if I was in a coma all week long, and I wake up and I just see that, oh fuck, here he comes. Oh shit, it's Khamzat Chimaev. Like, let's watch it, and that I would have just been so happy to see that. It just he said that I love that shit. I love that fucking, because that shit just does not look real. It just doesn't look real. Like, the only thing I can kind of explain to people is like, we had talked about it, like when Bo Nickel was in the Contender Series, or the way he took the guy he fought down. And even in that fight, like there were some exchanges. Like Kevin Holland he's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And he like Granby rolled and kind of got up, and everyone's like, he got up?
That was impressive.
Like,
yeah.
I
mean, impressive relative to what the fight was.
Right.
Yeah. And it should worth noting too that as soon as he got back to his feet, like he wasn't on his back, but as soon as Khamzat put hands on him, he never got any separation from him at any point anymore. Like he was fighting Khamzat off, but there was never a point where it's like, okay, now there's space between us again, so I could try and throw a punch.
Right.
He was dead to rights as soon as Khamzat laid hands on him. At welterweight,
it was that. I love seeing that shit. It's like back in the day, you would see like Michael Jordan do some wild ass shit, or when you saw like prime Michael Vick in the NFL just doing some wild shit that no one else can fucking do. You just love to see that shit, and people do, and a lot. I guess that like if this is like a shitty that I'm giving this guy any run on anything that I talk on, but there's a guy named Colin Cowherd where he talks about it where what moves a lot of people, you can hate certain things all you fucking want, but people will continue to watch someone just doing something insanely superhuman that they could never do in a million years. There's very few people, even in the UFC now, that could do things like it could do that at all. The best wrestlers in the world couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you really. I mean, we were talking about Anderson Silva on our last episode, and about people have like a Reddit post where they were asking like, what did it feel like watching Anderson? And for people who were watching the sport at the time, like you do really get the sense that we were watching somebody like making history and like just showing us that next level. And just like because of the stat alone that we mentioned earlier, 4 fights without being touched in the UFC is just, it's mind-boggling. Like
makes no sense.
You can like, that's the kind of shit like you daydream about, like if you're a fighter, like, or not even a fighter. That's the shit like if I was a fighter, and it's like you're gonna like write this like storybook like about like how you were gonna go in,
and then people like you tell them that and they're like, that'll never happen, idiot.
If I wasn't really if I didn't really follow MMA, and somebody told me like, no, there's this guy Hamzat who's like 5 fights in, and for 4 of those fights he didn't get touched, I'd be like, you're full of shit, dude. Like you're fucking telling tall tales, guy. And going back to what I said about like not wasting him on these fucking on just being an assassin for Dana White, for fighters that he wants to fucking, for this petty shit, like I want to see him tested now. Like at welterweight, the only fights I'm interested in right now for Hamzat are Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman. We know Kamaru Usman has another, is going to lock horns with Leon Edwards again. They're certainly not going to make him fight Hamzat now, or if they try, he's not going to accept that fight. Yeah, I don't think he has much of a chance.
Murdered by Hamzat Chimaev, and fuck, dude. Oh man, but it just still trips me out because then I had heard people say like, well, Kevin Holland's just not a good wrestler. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. And
he's no slouch.
Choked the fuck out.
It's not his preference, but he knows what he's doing. He might not be a good wrestler, but we've seen plenty of high-level grapplers. Oh, I mean, not to call Kevin Holland a high-level grappler. Like, there's a lot of black belts in the UFC now. You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean like what it meant back in the day. Like when I first started watching MMA, I'd be like, "Well, this guy's a black belt, though." You know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's no slouch either. But we've seen a lot of guys with really, really much better jiu-jitsu than Kevin Holland, who have no wrestling pedigree whatsoever. And then that's one of my biggest pet peeves that I've mentioned on this show before. Like a surefire way to make me dislike you as a fighter in this sport is to be a Brazilian jiu-jitsu phenom who literally has no wrestling whatsoever. It's like, dude, you're amazing on the ground, and you're not working on how to get it to the ground. Like, what are you doing?
He knocked Jacare out on his back.
Off of his back, yeah.
Off of his back.
While talking shit.
Yeah. Wait, it's just everyone's losing the forest for the trees. Like, he missed weight. He fought in the back. It's like, dude, this guy, this is wild. And then he's just
that front kick to the chest of Kevin Holland. I I really fucked him up for this fight. I think he
carried that in there
if he didn't eat that hypothetical front kick to the chest. But let's also address the fact that there's a really, really good chance that Hamzat Chimaev is not long for the welterweight division. I mean, missing weight by that much, whether or not he gave up. I mean, if he just gave up and decided he doesn't want to keep cutting weight, that had to have been for a reason. It certainly wasn't because he felt fine and it was a normal cut. You know, I know there was some murmuring. I don't really remember exactly, but I know there was some murmuring with the Gilbert Durinho Burns fight that he was having some trouble making weight then. So he's probably not going to stick around at welterweight for much longer. So, I mean, fucking UFC welterweights, like, you know, say your prayers, like be grateful that you're probably not going to have to deal with this guy, because I do think he's going to have to go to middleweight, and at middleweight he might as well be champion. I don't see anybody
now.
Like at welterweight, there's a couple guys who can probably give him some trouble. I'd really love to see what a Kamaru Usman fight would look like. I don't have a ton of.
That's what I have to see. I have to see Hamzat Chimaev and Kamaru Usman.
Because
did Kamaru Usman get insanely fucking lucky by getting kicked out? Because I guarantee you, like, he got he got knocked out by a kick in the like later the last round in the last seconds of a fight. But if
If
he
he was
doesn't,
still champion, he would,
and
yeah.
and then Hamzat has this type of thing, they're like, well, who else do you fight, Kamaru? You got to fight Hamzat.
And Colby will definitely. I know at one
Oh
point
yeah,
Colby sounded like
there's
he
no
was
chance.
that that they were willing to make that fight with Colby, and from what we've heard from like insiders and stuff like that is that Colby was generally receptive to it. It sounded like they could have made that fight, but then all that shit happened with Masvidal, and now Colby has his case that he has brain damage and stuff. So I don't think that they're gonna put this guy in there with Colby, and it's probably for the better because I mean, Colby hasn't fought a relevant welterweight that he's won he's fought Kamaru Usman twice, but he hasn't gone out and put in the work and got a win over any other welterweights in the top 10. And I mean, you could say Tyron Woodley was maybe still in the top 10 when he fought him, but we all kind of knew Tyron Woodley wasn't for it anymore. Like he was, that man was a shell of himself.
Tyron Woodley's the guy that got knocked out by one of the Paul brothers now.
Exactly. Yeah, and I mean that was before that. He didn't have that dirt on him yet, but I just I don't know. I mean Colby, he doesn't look undersized for welterweight next to Kamaru necessarily, but next to Chimaev, I think he definitely would look undersized too.
Yeah,
but a win over either guy in the same fashion that he did to Kevin Holland the other night. Like if he was able to do that to Kamaru Usman, even if it takes a couple rounds, that's legend creating like type of performance.
Yeah,
like that's a
quarter of that. Thing. A quarter of that against Kamaru Usman, where he just has like a round like that.
Yeah,
and he
immediately in the top 3 pound for pound discussion. And I mean, it feels so weird to say that because it's still so early for him in his career, but
it's hard to not be insanely impressed by that guy. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Like the casual eye, and even like the really hardcore eye, just does not like this guy, and he did nothing to like. There's absolutely nothing, and it's this whole thing like don't boo because we see what you cheer. So like that way, the guy's amazing.
Yeah, you people are entertained by Paddy Pimblett fights. Don't act like you're not gonna fucking tune in to watch
it. Yes, dude. Yeah. Yes, dude, good point, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, as even though we've elaborated on all of that and talked, about how he's playing the heel and stuff, and the casual fan perception of Khamzat Chimaev, he's evil. He should be banned from fighting. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on. I'm gonna play along with it. I don't like the guy. I would like to see him removed from the UFC for disrespect. I'd like for them to cite him for disrespect.
Yeah, exactly.
Missing
and
weight.
Everyone coming out of the woodwork, like Anthony Rumble Johnson, is like, I got fined for missing weight back in my day, and it's just like,
as a 365-pound non-athlete podcaster, I got to say it's really fucking unprofessional that he didn't make weight.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just fucking toss in a salad already. Like, God damn it.
It is unprofessional that he didn't make weight, but most of the people who are very, very vocal about it online are the last people who should be talking about it.
Talking about anything, yeah.
We've covered this fight to death. I mean, we really can't say a whole lot about the actual fight that unfolded. It was just
what was crazy is go back and watch it. The way he because Holland was rolling and trying to get out. I don't know how that works. I've watched wrestling. I've watched some pretty high level wrestling. The way that he kind of floated on top of Kevin Holland and let Kevin Holland fucking dig his own grave with his own movement is that is so hard to do. That is so hard to do. They talked about that, the leg trapping that Habib does or did, where you kind of the only thing you can really do is you're getting up, but you're getting up out of a wet carpet. It's just you're kind of fucking yourself. You're giving up one position, or you're giving away one position to get out of another. And man, the way he just floated on top of him, it looked like that when you see that that stiff board on a roller, and the board's just staying straight, and then that ball's rolling, but that board's just staying right on top of it.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It was just insane to see.
Yeah, it's like he figures out the supreme center of gravity or something like that to just ride him, just nullifying all of the scrambles. And those and the kind of scrambles that you need to try and combat that level of top control and to get out from a guy like Khamzat Chimaev, it's not free. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like, even if you know every single move to do, you are going to be much more tired from just one scramble to get out from under Khamzat Chimaev. Like, you don't get out from under that guy being the same fighter before he took you down. Like, he's gonna make you work
Exactly.
for it.
You lose a little bit of yourself under there.
Absolutely. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing the sky's the limit for Khamzat. I would be surprised if his next fight's at welterweight, if for no other reason than to, I mean, I almost want to say to give him a break, but if he goes back to middleweight, I don't think he goes back to welterweight either. I just, you know, you're having trouble making welterweight right now. You can't expect to be able to be a guy who's going to be able to put on the weight to go to middleweight and be able to jump back and forth. So I'm kind of mostly excited for that, about just finding out what division he's going to be at next, because if they say middleweight, or if he decides middleweight, the next fight that a lot of people are touting is Paulo Costa, which I don't necessarily see that. That's going to be an entertaining fight for the promotion, for the build-up. I mean, Paulo Costa is a guy who's really figured out his lane and kind of knows how to engage with his fan base, and he's got the meme king, you know, the secret juices and all that. I struggle to really see how Paulo Costa is going to be able to give Khamzat Chimaev any different looks. I mean, I think he'll last longer than Kevin Holland, but I think he goes down just the same. And the
only guy that could really, I mean, is sea level Rockhold, right? The only guy that would really give Khamzat a challenge, right?
Yeah, Khamzat's probably pretty fortunate that guy retired.
That question mark kick would have had him.
Just the stunning good looks alone. I could see Khamzat being all jealous because he's got that cleft lip and shit like that, and just kind of like, just getting into his head, losing the mind game.
Right.
Another case of you mentioned that, you know, he kind of just comes off as dumb to you. There's that, like,
he does. Yeah, just not self-aware at all.
And
because he said Allahu Akbar, I'll kill everybody here in America the day before 9/11.
How much awareness do you think that
and he
went
looked like
into
a
that?
dictator.
Like, how much do you, like, you really think it was just coincidentally like one of the worst things to say?
That's amazing. Then he's diabolically smarter than me, than anyone. I shouldn't even speak about a man like that's fucking intelligence. But I just think he's just wild. He is in the moment saying whatever the fuck he wants to say.
I think for him to be a baby face, to kind of like try and be a good guy, he doesn't have the mic skills for that. He's, you know, we know the Khamzat Chimaev sound bites. I come to smash this guy. I don't give a fuck about nobody. You know, we know what he's gonna say, and when that's all you have on the mic, and that's not all you need. Like, you can certainly get by with less, but you kind of have to know, like, okay, the tools I have promotionally really lend themselves to me playing the heel, being the bad guy, and just kind of pissing off these fat Americans. And I think he did that. I don't know if it's going to matter though, because he'll probably be fighting in Abu Dhabi a lot. That's
what's so funny too, is it's like how many fucking fat fucks were sitting there just like, this guy missed weight, dude, 8 pounds. And then he's just insanely fucking jacked, like maybe 9% body weight. Maybe.
I do have, and I saw a couple people say, like, it does kind of set a bad precedent though. And I will say, like, I agree with that. And I do have a little bit of a rant that I could go on. I can get on my soapbox a little bit about, because there's a lot of other fighters who miss weight on this card. Macy Chiasson missed weight, and then a few other people. I'd have to pull up the fight card and see, like, exactly who missed weight. But one pet peeve that I do have is a recurring or trend of fighters missing weight and then just telling their opponent or telling the promotion, and then the promotion pressuring the other fighter who wasn't about to miss weight and getting them to just agree to a catch weight, and then that fucking fighter doesn't get the 30% that they should get because their opponent missed weight. It's like, yo, what's the point of that fine if you're just going to pressure them into fighting? And then now they don't get that 30%, and they're fighting somebody who wasn't as drained from having to make weight and is bigger than them. It's like, yo, like I think no matter what, even if you get their opponent to take, because these guys want to take like, it's either that or you're just not going to fight, and then you don't make any money. So the fighters are broke. They're always going to take that fight. Nobody wants to be that fighter that says, oh, no, I'm not going to fight. Also, they've been paying for a full training camp. They've been paying coaches, facilities, all that shit. Like it's not free to prepare for a fight when you're fighting at the UFC level. So they it behooves them to take the fight. But I just feel like it fucking sucks. Like, they should give them that 30%, whether or not they make it a catch weight fight or not. Like, it's so silly, dude. Like, Irene Aldana, she was only like 1.5 pounds away from making weight, and then Macy Chiasson came out like, I don't know, 6 pounds over, not maybe like 5. I don't really remember exactly how much, but a significant amount more, to where she was like, if I have to keep making weight, I'm not going, like, I'm gonna stop. Do you want to make it a catch weight fight? And Aldana agreed. And it's like, no, if you're Aldana, like, fucking be like, sorry. the bout agreement said 130 pounds or 135 pounds, whatever. But anyways, yeah, that's my rant on the whole weight thing.
No, you're right. And setting a precedent too is like, very few guys, we talked about it. He's very 1 of 1% talent. Not many guys, not if any guys can do what he does in the cage. But there are some guys that move the needle even more than he does. Are they going to start doing bullshit like this to get out of fucking shitty matchups because they just don't like this card? Because it was a shitty fucking card to be on. If you're going to be on a pay-per-view card, this is shitty. No fucking belts, no fucking nothing.
I think we've seen that there's a specific type of fighter who tends to do this sort of thing. And we've already seen it from a guy like Paulo Costa. I'm not really necessarily worried that we're going to see this out of consummate professional guys. Like, Aljamain Sterling's not going to randomly be like, fuck it, I don't really care, I'm going to come in weighing 142 or whatever, fucking sue me, you're going to fight me anyways. Like, but we've seen Paulo Costa do it. I could definitely, given his penchant for fucking putting on weight between fights, I could definitely see a character like Paddy Pimblett pulling this shit in the future, you know, because they know, like, people are just going to eat it up anyways. I don't think, I think it has to be guys who kind of know that they have some promotional pull, and aren't just solely relying on the meritocracy of what they do in the cage.
I called someone I said, you're a stupider. That's not even a fucking word.
Who did you call stupider?
No, I said Paulo Costa, Hamza Chimaev, and Paddy Pimblett. Like, fucking the stupider people.
But anyways, it's not the biggest issue in mixed martial arts. I think refs refusing to take points away for cheating is probably a bigger issue. I mean, ultimately, there's still a relatively small percentage of fighters who are blowing weight to the extent that Hamza Chimaev did. And in a lot of cases, I mean, as much as we don't want to believe in the doctors, like, stopping him from cutting weight excuse, I mean, that's a real thing too. There are definitely some guys who are really fucking exploiting the weight classes a lot and really trying to be size bullies. You know what I mean? Like, it would probably shock a lot of people who don't really follow MMA very much to hear how much some of these guys cut weight and how much weight they're able to put back on just in the 24 hours between weigh-ins and fight day. So I mean, that's kind of one of those deals. You're gambling. You got to fucking. Every fighter knows their own body.
Definitely not for the longevity portion of, like, these guys aren't in it for a long time. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys' life, like, because it's relatively new. We kind of, the data's out on baseball players, basketball players, football players now. The shit's coming out, like, what these sports are having on their lives. Like, what is the weight cutting? How is that going to affect some of these guys going forward, like, on their on their bodies. You know, well, how's that going to work?
That's a good point, because I can't think of any legitimately elderly MMA fighters or elderly ex MMA fighters. Like Mark Coleman comes to mind. He feels. I know there's older guys, but as far as well-known guys who you're going to see pop up once in a while and hear like talking into a microphone at some convention or some shit, Gary Goodrich, the classic example of a guy who legitimately has. I mean, I don't want to misclassify it or whatever his condition is, but I mean, that's a guy who's slurring his words, stuttering, and stuff like that. And it's confirmed that it's from fighting. So yeah, no, that's a thing too. And, you know, you have to consider the differences, because from fighters from other countries who don't come from a culture of cutting weight, and then you got these corn-fed American boys who've been wrestling in high school and college, and you've been going back to middle school, who have been like, they're used to that. That's just part of the culture. It's
I had to cut weight to play football as a little boy. Like we had I was like 8 years old. Fucking okay, like put me on a timer 9 p.m. the night before the game. You just don't eat or drink anything, and I'm like spitting on the way to fucking weigh in to play fucking football.
Yeah, and we've seen classic examples of like of fighters who have fought in Europe their whole lives or something, like, you know, only were in regional, and then when they came and they broke out over here, we kind of realized like, oh, they're undersized for their weight because they're just fighting at their natural weight. They're not. They don't really cut. Yeah. All right. I mean, we saw it in Pride too, you know, where a lot of those guys, when they came over, they were undersized. And I mean, we'd see Vanderlei when he finally, came back really. But you really do see like, oh no, he actually is more of a middleweight. Like his frame, like that's a guy who should have been fighting at 185 for forever. But I mean, they had a lot of secret juices over there too to make up for some of that. Let's move on to the main event. I feel like people who are listening who probably tuned in just for our coverage of the Nate Diaz Tony Ferguson fighter, but like, dude, fucking stop ball washing this Chechnyan guy.
Talk about the greatest fight of 2022.
Nate Diaz gets it done against Tony Ferguson with a fourth round guillotine choke. Leading up to that, it was kind of a Nate Diaz fight. Like I've heard a lot of people talk about how they felt like Nate Diaz underperformed. And I guess if you're really only thinking about his best performances ever, but from what we've seen in Nate Diaz in his past, you know, his most recent performances, this is about what I expected from him. Tony Ferguson, on the other hand, Tony Ferguson's looking rough. For this card, Tony Ferguson definitely earns my "You Have the Audacity" award of the evening for the amount of spinning bullshit that he attempted, where it was like, my God, dude, what are you doing? Like,
dude, standing up, okay, but standing up on this, holding yourself on the side of the ring and just breathing in, and then trying to play it off like you're doing that as a joke, which Nate Diaz was. I just was mad. I did that fight just made me fucking mad.
It's a bad look, and people paid money for this card. We've talked about this in our chat,
dude.
And you know what? That's one of the main questions I wanted to ask. I was like, this was an interesting card. There was a lot of calamity leading up to this actual fight night and everything that went down, all the switching of opponents and stuff like that. There's a lot of intrigue. There's a lot of things for us, me and you, to talk about on our little MMA program. But was this an actually entertaining card? Was this a good card, Brandon?
The free part of it was there were some really good fucking fights. Jalton Almeida, that looks cool. Just to watch him do it. He didn't fight a very good guy, but like just to see the experiment that he is, like you can just tell, like you can see what they're trying to do with him, and if they can do what he should probably be fighting light heavy, but if he can like go back and forth, you know, that could be exciting to see something like that fight.
That's a guy who's really fired up the discussion that I haven't heard in a while of if should there be a like 225 pound like cruiserweight,
like a cruiserweight
class.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and he's bodied the fuck up too. Like he looked. I don't know. I liked watching him. I mean I called it not called it, but I had brought that up. Johnny Walker. That was a good. Talk about like how weird that was. He got kicked out of the fucking.
Put out on the Las Vegas Strip.
On the street in his fucking fight kit, barefoot, had to leave. And Conor McGregor's coach what are you, what are we doing here?
So weird.
Guys?
So weird. I've saw, and you mentioned like some of the excuses that you've heard, that some random COVID protocols, but I mean, we've seen fighters stick around for the fights. Like, I don't understand. Like, there's thousands of people in that arena. This guy is tested.
Yeah.
Like, what is the excuse there? I really hope we get some closure on that, or some.
I guess now the latest that I heard was that because of the fights that happened backstage, they didn't want to keep fighters in the backstage area fighting again. But like, what was Johnny Walker gonna do? Like, what was he gonna?
Also, talk about a guy who wasn't even involved in any of that shit, too.
None of it makes sense, dude. And then they're saying, well, but there's just how on earth is this a multi-billion-dollar company? How on earth? That guy should have had a full fucking spread. Just, hey, dude, thanks for fucking putting your life on the line in a cage for our fucking enjoyment and to fucking pay us the lion's share of the revenue. Here's some food, meats and cheeses. Enjoy, drink, have a great night, and thanks for coming out. Shower up, hot fucking shower. How about just a hot shower and a towel?
There's a seat for you. There's a seat for you on Fighters Row, and the section where fighters chill, where you just
feel free to take that chair home with you. Here's some Dunkaroos. Like, what? Like, they didn't give him any of that, dude.
Mm-mm. They didn't even let him wear those shitty ass rock shoes.
Yeah. Well, someone made the joke. I saw that like he wouldn't wear the rock shoes, so they kicked his ass out barefoot.
But well, let's get back to the main event though, because we do have to give it its due diligence. And
terrible fight. Terrible fight. These two guys need to. I mean, Nate Diaz is whatever he's got going. He's gonna get scammed. It's a scam. He's gonna lose all of his fucking money.
I mean,
they're gonna do a 30 for 30 documentary about how shitty his post career went.
I don't know. I mean, that can certainly happen. I'm not putting it past the Diaz brothers to get ripped off. I mean, there's the infamous story about how like Nick Diaz didn't pay his taxes for like so long, and when they asked him about it, and they asked Cesar Gracie about, like, his managers were like, "Well, that's his business." Like, you're his manager, dude. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, this
guy. That's none of my business.
I'll keep it vague, but we know this guy has issues. Like, you should probably be checking to see if he's paying his taxes.
Check that W-2 or whatever the fuck, 1099 or whatever Dana cuts him.
Yeah. Nate Diaz, I think the Real Fight Inc. thing is potentially smart, because I mean, everybody knows he's out of the UFC now. That was his last fight on his contract. He clearly wants to jump over and get into some of the influencer boxing world, and probably line up to fight Jake Paul. He's probably, I mean, I know he said he's going to be ringside because Chris Avala's fighting on that card. He's probably hoping that Jake Paul knocks out Anderson Silva, because if it goes the other way, then suddenly that fight that he's on deck for gets a lot less interesting, because, I mean, who knows how the Jake Paul, Logan Paul boxing experiment bubble pops if he comes up short against Anderson Silva. But whatever, we're not here to talk about that. But he does kind of give himself the opportunity to, let's say Conor McGregor fights out his contract and becomes a free agent sometime soon. Nate can say, hey, well, let's fight under my promotion. I mean, Conor will probably counter that and say, let's fight under mine, or co-promote sort of thing. But I think you kind of have to have that kind of structure in place if you really want to make money for yourself outside of the UFC. Do I think that Nate Diaz knows what he's doing and has what it takes to run a fight promotion? Probably not, but that's probably leveraged against the fact that he only really intends maybe to put on like one or two cards strictly for himself and to just fill the undercard with his homeboys. But in the fight, yeah, you mentioned the resting, the taking the break, probably half in jest, probably just kind of a fuck you to the UFC, but also probably, if he said he trained nothing but wrestling for this fight. Makes sense. You were supposed to fight Khamzat Chimaev. I also wouldn't be surprised if we found out that Nate didn't train at all and just didn't give a fuck because he knew he was going to lose. Like, why are you going to kill yourself to get ready for Khamzat Chimaev as if you have a chance? Like, your game plan is gonna have to be to try and just keep it on the feet and box it. I don't know. Like, I think I don't think people cared. I think that's part of the entertainment factor when you're watching the Diaz brothers fight. People love, like, when Nick Diaz laid down against Anderson.
Nick Diaz has not. I mean, he did that jump kick. Nick Diaz looked terrible in his last fight. Nate Diaz hasn't looked good for years, man. And
He's been looking
just
terrible. There's a reason I thought Tony Ferguson was going to beat him. I thought Tony Ferguson might actually look impressive.
Yeah, why? Yeah, good point, dude. We both kind of talked about it earlier. Like, well, this could be a good thing because if he comes out looking the way he did against Michael Chandler before he got knocked out, then that guy's washed, he's done.
And what really, I apologize to our listeners. I keep clearing my throat. I have scratchy throat. Still getting over COVID. The thing that worries me the most about Tony Ferguson is that after this fight, he said, "I'm back." Like, yo, those are not the words that I need to hear from you right now, dude. You are on a 5-fight losing streak. You are the farthest away from back as possible. And a few other points of concern is that he mentioned that, and I mean, I guess I could kind of understand because of how the things got shaken up and the change of opponents and this being a lot easier of a fight for him than Li Jingliang, but he said that he felt like there was no pressure in this fight for like the first time in his career. He was just having fun out there. And I hear that, and I'm no fighter. I mean, and maybe some fighters do legitimately have fun in the cage when they're fighting. I've heard a lot of fighters say that the fight is fun. That's the reward. The all the really tough shit is in the training camp. That's where you're fucking torturing yourself every day.
GSP mentions that. Yeah.
So I get the idea that the fight night is actually the reward, but to say that there's zero pressure, you're literally just having fun. It sounds like a person who's going out there and there are no more stakes. And I don't think that that's conducive to being a competitive mixed martial artist at all anymore. Like, I feel like you really should feel the butterflies to some extent, because if you don't, you're probably not doing it for the right reasons anymore.
Yeah, or there's just not much going on upstairs, which I think, in all seriousness, whatever Nate's going to do, good for him, man. You know, you did do a few good things. Great, man. But Tony Ferguson, like, is scary, dude. It's just cautionary tale, dude.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Because, what you just said, like, when he did say, "I'm back," I forgot about that. There was just so much random shit that happened that it just kind of all, like, was a weird, like, too many dicks in the soup on this fucking card. But it was just, man, he did say that, and it was just psycho. And then, like, that countdown where he was giving his wife a tour of, like, all this, and, like, it just looked like she was a fucking hostage. Like, it's like blinking to the camera if you're okay right now. It just, like, just something seems like way off. You know what I mean? Like, Chris Benoit off, dude.
I think, and we talked about at length about the mystery behind, like, Tony Ferguson's training camps and, like, there's the people who used to train with before, and I think that's part of that, what you saw a little bit in there. And I don't want to talk about the guy's, like, his marriage and his relationship, because they had some. I'll
go down and do that. I'm about to be a piece of shit and bring up his personal life.
I mean, like,
after I do it, all nasty.
No, I don't mean to like shame you for bringing it up or anything like that, because I think it's relevant, to who Tony Ferguson is and the kind of personality that he has, and I think that also probably plays a factor in how well he plays with others, how well he takes direction and coaching, and just that kind of, like, that delusion. It feels fucked up saying it, but I mean, really, the way he's been looking and a 5-fight losing streak, to say I'm back, there's delusion there. And I kind of get the feeling that the people around him or the people close to him are scared or uncomfortable, and not scared like, oh, he's going to do something bad to him, but they just know maybe they've tried to voice their concerns in the past and it's fallen on deaf ears because he just won't have it. He's just like, nah, yeah, I need people around me who believe in me, or whatever his mentality is, because he does also kind of seem like that kind of person too. Because I've heard I know some fighters have the mentality that it's like, they need yes men, and it's the reason yes men exist, because the moment you're not a yes man, they'll get you out of there. They'll be like, hey, I remember Joanna was telling a story one time about one of her managers, previous manager of his, in the middle of a fight. Oh, one of her trainers, who was saying, "Oh, you got to do this. It's all going to shit. You need to do this." And she stuck to her game plan, and she ended up winning. And she fired him immediately after the fight. And there are people like that, And there's, at the end of the day, there are people in this industry who are I mean, they're representing their fighter, but at the end of the day, it's their job too, and they're trying to keep their job. And I think that there's been a lot of people around Tony Ferguson for a while who've just been trying to keep their job.
Yeah, and it is what it. And if he's not fighting, then there's no job for them, you know. And I'm sure with a guy like, yeah, dude, I can't expand on that point. You made such a great fucking point, and that's something that I don't think really gets talked about enough. Is to where the pay structure, the way we talk about it every fucking time, but it's this fucking, it's this cancer that's eating away at the fucking product of the UFC. Is where if you just pay these guys the right way, you pay their teams the right way, all a rising tide lifts all ships, and it's something as simple as money, which is like there's so much of it. There's so much of it. Dana's handing it in bunches to fucking 22-year-old YouTube stars,
Influencers.
Just give a few of that. Just give a little bit of that to these guys who fucking will literally die. Tony Ferguson, who knows what the fuck he would have done, but the last 3 to 4 years, what he's done to his body is, and who did he do that for? You can say he did that for himself, but who really benefited off of that? You know, fucking the Ultimate Fighter and all that other stuff. Nate Diaz, Ultimate Fighter champ. These two guys won the Ultimate Fighter. Like, what does that really mean? You know, that's like, that's what Buffer had to say about both of these guys before. They weren't champions. They're not Olympians. They're not, you know, these guys that have this career that came in and helped. They are literally UFC company men. And it's so sad that that's what we saw. And it's so crazy that they've created this weird echo chamber of narrative gamesmanship to where, like, this guy's a heel, this guy's a gangster, this guy's that. How about these guys are real people? They're fucking fighters. They've given their fucking lives to this crap. They've put their everything into it. What they do when it's right is so gorgeous, and you're just throwing them out there. Like, it's just so parasitic and gross, man.
A lot of these guys travel to other continents for months at a time to train and don't see their families and shit like that. And and it's kind of shocking to me that a guy like Dana White doesn't also see. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess it's easy to line your pockets instead of investing in your fighters. But like a guy like him, he should see more than anybody else what kind of level of fighter you can really get when you put them in a position where they don't have to worry about money. Yes, there are going to be some guys who decide like, oh shit, I made it. Like, I don't, one big payday and fuck this. Like, I don't really need to keep doing this anymore. Yeah, I could understand the mentality that some people are going to lose their motivation. Some of these guys, plenty of them, and girls, most of them, I would bet they're doing this because it's their fucking identity. Like, they're fighters in their soul. Like, they're doing, you don't, I mean, I'm sure plenty of them know there's not a ton of money in this when they get into it. So I think they're doing it because they are passionate about it. And if you pay them well and you make them, if you take care of them so they don't have to worry about money and they can truly dedicate themselves to this, you see a lot of fighters getting to that next level. And we start to see some guys who are like on the level of, I mean, it's still different. I want to compare them to boxers because I feel like there's still a certain level that guys can get at in boxing. Part of that is the amount of ring time they get, though, because you get, I don't want to call them cans or whatever, but you get a lot of tune-up fights in boxing.
Yeah, right.
But that also, we get to the discussion about, like, there's so many other ways to lose in mixed martial arts too. So I don't want to like just completely make that comparison and too generic and be like, yeah, you just pay them like boxers and they'll all be on that level. But anyways, I think it's short-sighted. It's fucking predatory. And we'll never miss an opportunity to fucking slam dunk on the UFC and Dana White for underpaying their fighters, apparently.
But the last point I'll make on it is, you got a guy like Johnny Walker who is an athletic freak. He's amazing, one of one. There's not many people on the planet that are made up like Johnny Walker. Mm-hmm. He can do just so much physically. It's scary, right? And he's fallen on some rough times. He had some rough results, gone through so much crazy stuff. You know, fought through a pandemic where this was the first time he fought in front of a crowd in years. Comes out, gets a hard fought victory, And man, if you just invest a little bit more into that guy, and maybe he's like, man, I should just keep pushing harder and pushing a little, get better, train harder, and come back and look even better. And then who looks good? Who looks better for that? The UFC.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the next card. He does amazing. He looks great. You just put, I mean, really another 30 grand. What is that? You kind of throw that into there. You let him, eat, take a shower, change, and then go to a nice hotel and fly him home. How great is that? Now, what the fuck? Johnny Walker's like, what the fuck? I should just go get high, go do drugs, go fucking ruin my life. What's it gonna fucking matter? They don't care. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, rip the guy off, but at the very least, tell your staff not to put him out on the fucking street barefoot after the fucking fight when everyone in the world has a camera in their hands.
Main event. Bellator doesn't do that. Bellator won't do that.
Mm-mm.
I guarantee you Bellator doesn't do some shit like that. I guarantee you there are so many back alley fucking fight promotions. They fight right here where we're from, dude. They have what's called 559 fights.
Yeah.
These guys, they can probably go find somewhere to take a shower, chill, change, and then get an Uber home. You know what I'm saying? And they're making like $300 or something.
I've been to a 559 fights card, and by the way, the small local cards are always cool because a lot of people in the crowd are the fighters' families, and you don't even realize it until afterwards.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I went to one where that they had at I forget the name of the baseball field. It's not Rawhide, but it's the other baseball field in Visalia where they had fights, outdoor fights. Like they were in the diamond, and everyone's just in the bleachers. And yeah, like you see these guys fight, and they go and they do their thing afterwards, and they probably shower up and everything, and then you see them in the stands like sitting with a group of people next to you because that's all their nachos. People. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's not that complicated. I mean, they kind of tried to pass the buck onto the T-Mobile Arena staff and said that it had something to do with them, but I'm sorry, you're a multi-billion-dollar company. I'm sure you can tell them, like, hey, these are our athletes. They have
don't get Conor McGregor's coach out of the fucking arena.
This guy, I mean, Johnny Walker is a Brazilian guy who's been traveling to Ireland to get ready for this fucking fight. It's like literally across the fucking planet. This is not how you treat this man.
I'm sure he got a text from like Sean Shelby's third assistant that said, "Sorry about that, dog. Get you next time, huh?"
Let's shift gears a little bit and cover a couple of fights. We are at 117. Let's try and see if we can wrap up by an hour and a half. And let's touch on this upcoming fight night card. We definitely can't forget to mention Sandhagen versus Yadong.
Damn fine fight.
Yes, this is a really
better than any fight that we just saw on a pay-per-view.
A lot of stakes for the bantamweight division at this fight. Corey Sandhagen coming off of two losses, so really wanting to come out and make a statement here. And I don't want to just say generically 2 losses. This is a guy who's been fighting an absolute murderer's row at bantamweight for a while. Going back to 2019, John Lineker, which if you've kind of relatively somewhat new to the sport or haven't watched the UFC for that long.
We'll give him his flowers, dude. 1FC champ, John Lineker.
Yes.
Animal.
Absolute rib roaster, John Lineker. Rafael Assunção, straight up veteran. It's not an easy fight for anybody. Aljamain Sterling, current champion. Marlon Moraes, Frankie Edgar, and that flying knee KO of Frankie Edgar is what really put Corey Sandhagen on the map for a lot of people, and that's what kind of cemented him as a guy that they just decided, okay, you're only going to fight killers from now on. It doesn't get any easier. Frankie Edgar definitely at that point past his prime. I'm not going to say washed, but over the hill. Probably a guy who doesn't have too many fights left in him. And then now he's
doing stand-up comedy now, I guess, right, or something.
I forgot. He is, right? He's doing something like that. I heard about that. Oh shit, I need to see that. I wonder if he's actually done it yet, or if he's
way better than Brendan Schaub.
I want to know if he's actually done sets, or is he just like doing
he's
comedy
done
workshops
sets.
and shit?
No, I saw it.
Oh my god, you fucking okay. Back to what I was talking about, because I'll go down a rabbit hole.
Killer 7 minutes on Gray Maynard. Killer, just hilarious.
Corey Sandhagen's coming off of consecutive losses to TJ Dillashaw and Peter Yan. I'll go ahead and throw an asterisk on the TJ Dillashaw result there. It was a split decision loss that I and a lot of other people felt that he won. I mean, go back to the not all close fights are robberies. I mean, I hate TJ Dillashaw as a person, so that one felt like a robbery to me. But anyway, it was a competitive fight. So yeah, and Song Yadong is coming off of his knockout win over Marlon Moraes. He's on a 3-fight winning streak, actually. Marlon Moraes, Julio Arce,
off the Marlins.
Casey Kenny. Yes, he did. Yeah.
He's killed a lot of
Marlon Moraes. Poor Marlon Moraes is coming up as a win in a lot of bantamweights records right now. This is a tough one for me to pick. I think I want to hand it off to you first, so you can give me your breakdown, and then
I'm taking Corey Sandhagen all day long. So we just shit all over the UFC, right? For all their shortcomings. What's absolutely fucking wild is a guy like Corey Sandhagen. If we talked about it with like Joaquin Buckley, right? If you put Corey Sandhagen highlights on and to someone who doesn't watch UFC, and you go, this guy's one of the better fighters that's ever walked the earth. So check this guy's fucking highlight reel out. Like, this guy's fucking look at that. Because technically, almost everywhere a fight can go in a mixed martial arts match, this guy can do it anywhere.
Yes,
any way you want, he'll do it, and he'll do it in an elite level. Amazing fighter. Just one of those guys that for sure they're talking about it now is where, you got your guys like Hamzat, who grew up as a wrestler. You got your guy. There's a lot of wrestlers like that. You got your Edson Barboza's, just a Muay Thai fucking specialist, amazing fighters. You got your guys that are sambo guys, boxers, where they train something and then they just kind of, or you get like the Taekwondo guys, judo, whatever, where they're specialists and then they kind of fill in the blank. This guy started as an MMA mixed martial arts fighter. He trained mixed martial arts, and you can just see it. He's elite in every fucking level, and it's just so crazy. We talked all that shit about the UFC, but for everything they have a fucking roster of fucking murderers, and then this guy had to fucking go through them, and he's like he looks like John Wick, just like limping through the fucking hotel, dude, just like, god damn, like, what the fuck do I gotta do, and he's fought some of these guys too at times in the other guy's career where it was like do or die for the other guy, where they needed the fucking win, and they go up against Corey Sandhagen, so it's like TJ Dillashaw, he needed that to get to where he is now, and he would have fucking tore anyone's fucking eyes out to get to and it just so happened that it was fucking Corey Sandhagen was there, and Sandhagen won that fight. So, and Aljamain Sterling, when Aljamain Sterling was like low key, now he's this different, larger than life kind of caricature. But that when he was fighting Corey Sandhagen, he was one of my favorite fighters to watch. So but Song Yadong as well, like he's a lot of people say that win against Cheeto wasn't, could have won either way, but he's a great fighter, and he's only gotten better too. So I just think Corey Sandhagen takes it by decision.
I think whatever the result is, we're in for a really good one. I was looking at Corey Sandhagen's record again, and like what you mentioned about Aljamain Sterling, it should be noted, Aljamain Sterling owns the only finish win over Corey Sandhagen. Submission. It was a rear naked choke win. Corey Sandhagen's never been put out, never been knocked out or TKO'd in this sport, and I think that is probably like the deciding factor for me, because there's a lot to like about Song Yadong. I really think he's improved a lot since he's went to Team Alpha Male, and his boxing looks top tier. It looks amazing.
We've mentioned him a few different times, and he's just his striking, him and Li Jingliang, they're sneaky good boxers.
Yeah, his movement. I was just so impressed by that last fight. And granted, it was over Marlon Moraes, who's on a bit of a losing streak lately.
The magic was gone. had
but
left.
but he had just passed the eye test for me so well. Like his defensive grappling, it looked really good in that fight. His movement looked really good. He's always had power. We know that he's a really, really hard hitter. Corey Sandhagen, though, is just a huge bantamweight too, and I don't think that gets said enough. The guy's 5'11" at bantamweight. So
that's he's monstrous for that.
Yeah, like he looked like he was towering over Peter Yan to me. So I can't shake the fact that he's got that size. He's good everywhere, like you mentioned. He's scrappy as hell. He's solid hands, good top game. A mean clinch knees, an ugly jump knee that we saw, fucking ruin Frankie Edgar's day. A left high kick that will fucking end your night early. He has all the tools. My only concern,
his elbows in the like dirty boxing in the clinch, like exiting up against the cage. His elbows are nasty as fuck.
Yeah, he's lethal, man. I guess my only concern or hang up with Corey Sandhagen, and this is to some people this would be a strength of his, is he just has an unkillable mentality. Like this guy is like, when you hear Corey Sandhagen talk, it's like the guy has one mission in life, and that is fighting. Like he's definitely one of those guys who I feel like his identity is fighting, or at least the part that he shows to us, the fans,
right? Because
there are no layers there. It really is like, I'm gonna go out there and do my thing, and I like that amount of determination. But I feel like that's allowed him to kind of be dragged into wars. And granted, that he's fighting guys who were probably a little bit better than him. You know what I mean? Like he needed to figure out. Like I think his ability to adjust on the fly is what I'm getting at. It can use improvement. Like I feel like he kind of like. With Peter Yan is the one that sticks in my head, where it's like it wasn't working with Peter Yan, and he had 5 round. Oh, was it 5 round fight or was it a 3 round fight? Yeah, it was a 5 round fight. He had because it was for an interim bantamweight championship. Right. He had 5 rounds, and it just never really saw that he was able to make the adjustment there. And that's a unique case. Peter Yan is not Song Yadong, so I don't want to let myself get too influenced by that result. But I feel like I've seen that before. In some of his other fights, and I don't know, I feel like he's a little too willing to take damage, to give damage, and against Song Yadong, that's a gamble, because Song Yadong can end your fight early. But I think ultimately the experience is what's probably going to edge it out for Corey Sandhagen here. I'm going to go Corey Sandhagen too, but trepidatiously, like
yeah. This isn't like it isn't. It's just basically, and if you're trying to just go for the overall value, if you're betting, Song Yadong is the way to go, just because he's the livest of live dogs.
Song Yadong, you can find him at plus 175 right now.
Yeah, that's a live fucking dog, because he can fucking, like you mentioned it earlier. There's so many different ways MMA fights can end. And there's not more than just one way to skin a cat in this shit. And one tool that this guy has is just insane fucking power. And there's the guy in front of him isn't gonna run. So
and nobody else has put him out yet. And he's fought guys who certainly can put anybody out.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's another little deciding factor too. It's just the fact that Corey Sandhagen hasn't had his lights put out yet, and I don't know if I could predict that Song Yadong is going to be the first guy to do it to him. And I mean, coming off of, he has his back to the wall a little bit. Yeah. Coming with 2 losses, I'm sure he really is motivated for this one, and he's probably leaving no stone unturned, getting ready and preparing for this fight. So, man, we're in for a treat with this one.
This is an exciting fight. I'm gonna keep, college football's back. Baseball's like getting towards the home stretch. There's a lot of shit going on as far as sports wise, but you gotta watch. This is one of those matchups you gotta watch.
They only paid. I'm looking at his disclosed pay for that Peter Yan fight, dude. He only got $50,000.
Yeah,
for losing to Peter Yan, dude. Like,
a part of his soul was gone. He got into a cage with a man from Siberia and got paid $50,000.
Oh man, and that was a numbered pay-per-view too. That was on the Blachowicz versus Teixeira card
for an interim title.
Yeah, like dude, like add another 0 at least.
100 racks isn't enough.
Shit's crazy.
It's just crazy, dude.
All right. So we're both picking Corey Sandhagen. We don't have to.
Yeah.
We don't have to fucking open that jar of pickles again, and we're gonna start sounding like a broken record. I wanted to touch on the Chidi Njokuani versus Gregory Rodriguez fight, the co-main event. I think that's going to be a pretty good one. If I had to give a pick, I'm leaning Chidi Njokuani. Gregory Rodriguez has proven me wrong a few times now. I picked against him. I picked Julian Marquez over him. And I'd have to go back and look and see if I was chasing points on verdict when I made that pick, but I know I picked wrong.
Yeah, that's always an interesting aspect of it. When you say this, it's like, well, where were you at on your scorecard at that point?
Mm-hmm. And Gregory Rodriguez, we know he hits hard. I know that he has good top control. He has a lot of the things that you'd want to see from a guy that you'd expect to have some success at middleweight, which is to say, you don't need a lot. He has a hell of a chin. He has competent striking. He's willing to walk into fire, and he has good grappling control. I don't know. His wrestling's a little kind of still in the air for me, but I think Chidi Njokuani definitely has the edge in experience, and he has the edge in speed, which I think is going to be the biggest factor here. I mean, I don't have to tell anybody if you look at their records that I think Chidi Njokuani has the edge in power. With like 13 of his 22 wins coming by way of knockout.
Right.
And I think Gregory Rodriguez, they call him RoboCop for a reason. That's because he's kind of fucking slow. And he's kind of slow, and he's kind of plodding, and he's kind of flat-footed. And it's worked out for him well.
It's not because he's from Detroit.
No. Yeah. It's worked out for him well. I don't want to bag on him too much because he's exceeded my expectations. He really has. But I think Chidi Njokuani is just on a fucking tear right now. He's on a 4-fight winning streak. All of those being finishes. Dusko Todorovic, elbow, round 1. Marc-Andre Barrialt. Sorry if I mispronounced that name. Right? I'm not sure. I would have to take another look. But that one, fucking round 1, overhand right to ground strikes, 16 seconds. The dude's on a tear. I think his killer instincts are fucking on another world right now. Chidi Njokuani, I think one of the more dangerous guys outside of the top 20 at middleweight. Really excited for this one. I think I'm going to go Chidi Njokuani over Gregory Rodriguez by knockout.
You're not going to get where I like to watch like Armin Petrosian fights, and one of his last losses was to Armin, and that's where I saw Rodriguez kind of like where I was like familiarized with him. And if that version of comes out in this fight, it's just not going to be a good night out for him. If you had asked me, so you're not going to get any pushback from me on this one. So.
Right on. Cool. Well, we are at 1 hour and 32 minutes now, 33 minutes. So we'll just do a real quick rundown through the card. We won't necessarily break down the rest of these fights, but just call out anything that we see that we think people should definitely tune in for. I know you mentioned the Cameron Van Camp versus Nicholas Mata fight. That's an exciting one.
Van Camp looks like an inch. I always kind of like. I don't know why, but I just like to watch the early prelims. I'll just have it on in the background, and you just always catch these guys like we saw like Nathaniel Wood or like Ludovic Klein or these guys. I just kind of catch them in like out of the corner of my eye, or one eye is on them while I'm doing something else. And there's just something about this guy. He looked good. He looked like, and I think he's a dog, or he's going to be a dog going into it. And so if you're betting, fucking live dog right there. You don't get guys like this. Like, you get very few chances, and in WMMA you can kind of like skate by picking dogs or just picking like these crazy ass overmatched fights where it's easy money almost. But when you get a guy like Van Camp in there who's like this fucking talented and like definitely passes the 5-plug eye test, I would say like put some cash in on him while he's still an underdog.
He is he's a plus 195 underdog against Nicholas Mata.
Yeah.
And let me take a quick look at Nicholas Mata's record. Nicholas is 12-4 to Van Kamp's 15-6-1. I'm going to take a peek at his methods. Nicholas Mata is a guy who's going to come to bang too. All of his 8 wins by knockout, 5 by decision, no wins by submission, 3 losses by knockout for Nicholas Mata, and 2 by submission. So kind of leaning towards he's probably a guy who I've watched but I don't remember, but his record indicates that he's kind of a kill or be kill kind of fighter, which was probably why he got matched up with Andre Fialho, who was a guy who was like trying to do that dude like fucking. Andre Fialho fought 3 times in 3 months, so that was a guy who was very busy as soon as he got to the UFC. So don't miss that one. That's the first fight of the card too, so you have to tune in. Don't miss that one. Let's see what else is good.
You have a funny story about a gal on the card, right? Did you want to tell that?
I'm gonna be very interested in seeing how this Maria Agapova Jillian Robertson fight turns out.
Yeah. I am now too.
Maria Agapova is a girl who has shown a lot of potential. She looks like she's a girl who could chuck him. She had a really fast submission finish. Not in this most previous fight, in her previous one. She has good killer instincts, but she's very rough around the edges. But it seems like she has a lot going on in her life. Extracurriculars, some run-ins with one violent Bob Ross, who apparently ripped her off for like $6,000. I don't want to go like too far into details because she did confide in me via Instagram DM too, so I don't want to air all her dirty laundry out of there. But I kind of have to wonder.
Let's try and get her on the dude. Please, let's try and get her on the show and just like let her go wild on it. Like who cares?
I'll reach out. I'll put some feelers out there and see if I'm pretty sure we probably could get an interview with her. I think I can get an interview with her. I think I could probably score an interview with Marnik Mann, who's fighting on Dana White's Contender Series tomorrow.
Okay.
She's making her first foray into trying to get into the UFC there too, so that'd be pretty interesting. Better to get her early now, before she does become a UFC fighter potentially.
Norma Dumont, we can get.
I need a translator for Norma Dumont, guy.
Yeah, I know, but I mean. There's certain parts where you don't need that kind of she speaks a universal language in a certain different in different ways,
Absolutely. Let's see, I'm still scrolling up and down this card. Andre Fili, Bill Algeo, it's a showcase fight. I mean, if you're watching this card, you're probably going to watch that fight anyways. I don't need to tell you,
I guess,
tune in for that fight, but
he's like taking this fight too for like pretty crazy reasons. I guess he's got a kid coming in November, and he's like, I have to get money because I'm probably not gonna be able to fight. So he's like taking this fight like why are you taking this fight? He's taking this fight like real quick, like I'll do it. And he's like one of those cardio monsters. So like that's usually not the best thing to do, but he's just trying to stack some cheddar because he's got a kid coming.
I'm glad you told me that. I mean, it's kind of a sad story. Like you would hope that, we're going to talk about fighter pay again.
Yeah,
we're not going to get into it. You would hope that a fighter at like on the third fight on the main card wouldn't have to worry about that shit. But I'm not going to pretend that it doesn't add intrigue to a fight for me.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the guy who was fighting at heavyweight who started breaking down crying in his post-fight interview because he was talking about how he put all his chips into one basket and moved his family across the country to train at Jackson Winklejohn, I think, and how if he didn't win that fight, he wasn't sure how he was going to support his family and shit like that. And then I mean, it's fucked up, but that story did stick in my head. I was going to say I'll never forget that guy. I forget. It'll come to me.
I'll never forget him. Whatever the fuck.
I'll never forget his face. I'll tell you that much right now. I know he's not in the UFC anymore. Poor guy. He got cut. He didn't really make much of his UFC run. But I mean, the sad truth is, like, you get that kind of insider shit. Like that gives me more interest in the fights. Like the personal stakes that fighters have that we're not privileged to hear about a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I think that. And now I want to tune in for that fight for sure.
Right. No, that was something that like really stuck out to me. So, be interesting. Those guys come out. Hungry dogs run faster, dude.
Yes, they do. Yeah. All right, man. Well, it's been a good episode. We will keep this one relatively short compared to some of our previous episodes.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny how you pointed out how our last one was our longest episode by far, and it all ended up being worth a shit because none of those fights we predicted were happening anymore.
Yeah.
So don't think we're going to run into that problem here. Brandon, thanks for joining me once again. For anybody who's still listening, got to remind you again, please like, subscribe, mostly subscribe. That matters more than anything else. We want to get our subscribers up because, like Brandon said, it would be nice to chop up a couple $100 once in a while.
Yeah.
Just for talking about MMA, a sport that we're passionate about. We should definitely mention Elias Theodorou, who passed away.
Very sad.
Yeah, lost hard fought battle with liver cancer that he lost, unfortunately, and he fought that battle in silence, which you got to admire the stoicism. It's not for everybody. I'm not saying everybody has to fight that battle in silence, but when I hear about those stories, it definitely touches the heartstrings a little bit more, to know that, for whatever reason he decided to go that route. Maybe he didn't want to put his family in under the microscope or whatever his reasons for doing that. Elias Theodorou, I'm not going to sit here and talk like I'm someone who's very intimately familiar with his career.
Canadian MMA.
Yeah, I didn't watch his season of The Ultimate Fighter, but and I didn't follow his career super closely, but I know that he was very, very actively involved in advocating for CBD and cannabis for medicinal purposes for athletes, especially in his home country of Canada, which I'm sure was a bit of an uphill battle. So at the end of the day, and he didn't have to do that, you know what I mean? So he did that for the benefit of everybody, whether or not anybody buys into that or thinks that there's any real benefit there. He did, and he could have been. And he was selfless about it. He could have just quietly reaped whatever benefits he felt like he got from that. But ultimately, he was someone who looked out for other people. And a fucking real stud muffin, too. The world lost a real beefcake this weekend.
Yeah.
This fucking handsome fucking guy.
Good looking man. Yeah.
So, rest in peace to Elias Theodorou. You never want to hear about that, but he won't be forgotten.
No way. Awesome. Well put, man. Since yesterday, you've heard everybody who had anything that knew anything about him, and I hadn't really. The one thing I didn't know about was his the CBD usage and trying to get that intertwined with athletics, and especially in MMA where guys like Nick Diaz is fucking, where we were just talking about, have suffered fucking suspensions for taking marijuana, not that long ago. So the regulations or the rules have been laxed for a while now in certain parts of the world, but not everywhere, so it's easy to just kind of forget about that or forget that there are people who are still fighting for the simple things that we take for granted like that, but so I admire that. Well, rest in peace to him, and all prayers to his family, and that's just terrible.
Absolutely.
And anyone that's out there that's dealing with stuff like this, who knows why he kept it in, and for sure he's a stronger guy than me, because I would have just been bawling like a baby telling anybody who would listen. But
I don't know if I would be that stoic to just fight it silently. I'm in a different position now. Not a professional MMA fighter with a fan base, but still, like the Chadwick Boseman, how he went quietly, nobody saw it coming, and,
right.
And I should mention too, and if I will remember, I'm not gonna say if I remember, I'll put a link to it in the description. His family set up a GoFundMe to raise money for other people who are suffering from the same illness, from liver cancer. So that would be a good thing. It's not just for him or his funeral expenses or anything. It's still in death, like in his name, they're still continuing to do a good cause to bring awareness to that and help other people who are suffering from that. Which is just horrible. We all know somebody. We all have lost somebody to cancer.
Everybody, who's been affected by this terrible illness.
Right on. Cool. Well, we will leave it at that. Thank you for joining me again, Brandon. Everybody, we will see you guys next Wednesday or so. Have a good one. Have a good night.